Hi, my name is Canto Martinez, and today I'm going to present to you the Ford Pinto case analysis. This case involved the explosion of Ford Pinto's car due to a defective fuel system design led to debate of many issues, most centering around the use by Ford of a cost-benefit analysis and the ethics surrounding its decision not to upgrade the fuel system based on this analysis. The issue was, should a risk analysis be used in situations where a defect in design or manufacturing could lead to death or seriously bodily harm, such as in the Ford Pinto situation? There are many arguments both for and against such an analysis. It is an economically efficiently method which has been accepted by courts for numerous years. However, juries may not always agree, so companies should take this into account. Although Ford has access to a new design which would decrease the possibility of the Ford Pinto from exploding, the company chose not to implement the design, which would have saved them $11 per car. Even though it had done an analysis showing the new design would result in 180 less deaths, the company defended itself on the grounds that it used the accepted risk-benefit analysis to determine its monetary cost of making the change were greater than the societal benefit. The risk-benefit analysis created the development of product liability. There are several reasons why such a strictly economic theory should not be used. First, it seems unethical to determine that people should be allowed to die or be seriously injured because it would cost too much to prevent it. Second, the analysis does not take all the consequences, such as the negative publicity that Ford received and the judgments and settlements resulting from the lawsuits. Also, some things just can't be measured in terms of dollars, and that includes human life. However, there are arguments in favor of the risk-benefit analysis. First, it was well developed through existing case law. Second, it encourages companies to take precautions against creating risks that result in large accident costs. Next, it can be argued that all things must have some common measure. Finally, it provides a bright line which companies can follow. It was May of 1968. I think it was May of 1968 May 1972, when Lily Gray was traveling with 13-year-old Richard Grimshaw in a 1972 Pinto when their car was struck by another car traveling approximately 30 miles per hour. The impact ignited a fire in the Pinto which killed Lily, and Richard left him with devastating injuries. A judgment was rendered against Ford, and the jury awarded the Gray family and Matthew Grimshaw. The second case was 6 months following the controversial Grimshaw verdict. Ford was involved in yet another case involving the Pinto. The automobile's fuel system design contributed to the death of 3 women on August 10th of 1918 when their car was hit by another vehicle traveling at a low speed. The debate was heightened because the prosecutor of Elkhart County, Indiana, chose to prosecute Ford for reckless homicide and criminal recklessness. So basically, this case was brought upon Ford because they were charged with criminal homicide. There was a design failure with their gas tanks, and Ford pushed production for the next 6 years, even at consumer risk. Ford had faced many ethical issues as well. They willingly continued to produce cars just to compete with its competitors. Ford used the NHTSA statistics of automobile deaths to show the benefit versus cost. Ford management decided to not make improvements of the Pinto, in their mind saving $88 million, and they chose sales over safety. And the clash between moral and legal rights. Sometimes we tend to do things that we think is right legally, but morally it may not be right. This car was released prior to new regulations, so it made it legal. It was very unethical, but it was very legal. Can the loyal customers of Ford be betrayed? Yes. Ford breached of Aquinas. They ignored field reports. They neglected safety issues. They decided to protect Ford employees, not their customers. It would have been ethical if they would have tried to save many lives, but it wasn't in the favor of Ford, as they didn't want to change the design and recalled old cars. It would have been unethical because unethical would be in favor of Ford, which allowed Ford to save money but by not fixing the design, but ultimately costing lives and the balls in the favor of Ford. They violated the ASCE and NSPE violation. Ford was not honest to their community. They violated Canon 1 of ASCE, which was hold safety paramount. They violated Canon 3, which was issue true statements. And they violated Canon 6, which was to uphold professional honor. As far as the NSPE violations, they performed deceptive acts. They violated honesty and integrity. They violated the public's interest, they deceived the public, and they failed the project. Was Ford Pinto a death trap? Yes. Could have there been solutions to solve it? Yes. By adding $11 fix to the gas tank issue, they could have recalled all Pintos, they could have issued a public statement to fix the cars, or they could have gave options to the consumers to get the car fixed. It was in 1969, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration of Department of Transportation proposed Standard 301. Also, Ford at first refused, but eventually recalled the Pinto in 1978. And it was in March 13, 1980, Ford was found not guilty of criminal homicide. The conclusion to this is business ethics has progressed from generation to generation. For a person to decide if Ford actions were unethical, the current society standards should be taken into consideration. In that time frame, business ethics was not really known to the society and was not practiced as they are today in businesses. We have learned in our text that building ethical standards into business operations can be more than just a slogan. We should make it a task. Prevention is less costly than a cure. Trust is critical in business relationships, so building and maintaining a reputation for ethical standards is valuable. The end. Thank you.